Great day and welcome to Logic Lives. Today we're going to talk about if you come into a lump sum of money, what do you do with it? Should you use it to pay down your home or should you use that lump sum of money to invest in the stock market? This is a struggle for most people because taking a lump sum of money and investing it in something that you're not really familiar with in terms of the stock market is just scary for folks. Most people understand paying down your mortgage. You hear it all the time, and you can see your statement each month, and you could kind of understand how much you have in terms of your balance and how much a lump sum would go towards that. And you know your interest rate, so you figure you'll save at least that much going forward and pay off your home earlier. So after this video, you will see for yourself what you should do. This is not financial advice, but I could strongly encourage you to listen to the advice to make the best decision for you. All right, I'm going to take some hypotheticals here so that way we have a roundabout starting point. So that way we can look at both scenarios. So I'm going to start with $100,000 just to keep things simple. So I'm going to take $100,000 and I want you to pull up a mortgage calculator. I'll do it for you. But we're going to take this mortgage calculator and see what the interest would be over a 30-year period based off of not paying that $100,000 to your mortgage. So we're going to put in starting balance of $100,000, and then we're going to also put in what the interest rate is. Most people have an interest rate under 5% at this point, but if you just recently bought a home, it could be in the 7 or 8. So I'm going to split the difference and choose 6%. So $100,000, you're paying 6%, or the time that you're going to pay it off is 30 years. We're going to do the calculation, and you'll see that the total amount is surprising. All right. So we're going to do the same thing in terms of taking that $100,000 and we're going to use a compound interest calculator. And this is a calculator that is designed to show you how you potentially gain interest because it compounds if you invest in the stock market. So we're going to take that same $100,000 and we're going to use the average rate of return for the stock market over the 150 years has been in existence, which is about 10%. We're also going to look and say we're not going to contribute any additional money. We're just going to keep the 100,000 in there because it's a lump sum. And then we're going to say that this interest is going to accumulate over 30 years. Same thing we did with the mortgage calculator. And so if you look at the end of the 30 years, hit calculate, and you'll see the figure is tremendously more. So this is very simple because of the fact that most people think that because they are paying a lump sum and they have a 7% interest or 6% interest every year on their mortgage, that they're paying 6% on the 100,000. And it's simply not the case because your mortgage balance your mortgage payment also includes payments towards your principal. And so every payment that you make, your principal is going down. And that is what is the difference between your mortgage calculator and your compound interest calculator calculation at the end. Because your 100,000 after 1 year of paying principals each month, instead of you having 7% interest on 100,000, it's going to be 7% interest on $99,000 or $95,000, which is a lot less. And in 30 years, your interest is wiped out. On a compound interest calculator, if you invest in stocks, that $100,000 is growing by 7% every year. So it's never going down, it's just going up. $100,000, 10%, after 1 year, it's going to be $110,000. And then 10% of $110,000 is going to be another $11,000, which leads you to $121,000 after 2 years. And then after that, you're getting 10% off the $121,000 and so on and so forth. So your balance doesn't ever go down, it actually goes up. So after this simple calculation, hopefully you will see that instead of you taking the lump sum and putting in something that is going to go down based off of interest, you should invest that in the stock market because you will have a lot more returns and a lot quicker and save yourself a lot more money versus just investing in your mortgage. Hopefully you learned a little something. If you did, make sure you like